Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vipul, you are okay. You are there. Vipul, welcome to this August panel of interviewers
Thank you, sir.
for the IES exam. Before we start, I want you or the panel wants you to introduce yourself. Briefly introduce 3-4 sentences. Who is Vipul?
Sir, I was born and brought up in Lonavala. I have done all my schooling in CBSE board. I did my bachelor's in civil engineering from Government College of Engineering, Karaj. I completed that in 2014. Subsequently, I went for post-graduation program in Nikmat, Pune, which I completed in 2016. I was campus recruited to Larsen and Toubro Construction, where I worked in water and effluent treatment IC. I left my job after working for 25 months to prepare for engineering services. And since then, I have been preparing and giving various other interviews of government exams.
Okay, Vipul. Now, you have worked in the sector of with L&T and in the
Yes,
sector
sir.
of water and effluent treatment plant.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and you are also from Lonavala. Is a picturesque place. It's actually hill station from the most famous hill station of Maharashtra. And you are born and
Yes,
brought
sir.
up there. So obviously, so please tell us something about Lonavala. Now, Lonavala, everybody says that Lonavala used to be quite a beautiful place. It's no longer there. There's a several environmental degradation around Lonavala, that Khandala, that area. What are the main environmental challenges and what according to, suppose you are put in charge of an environmental planning, you are Maharashtra government, I mean, chief engineer in that area. What will be your main programs first, your action plan, and how will you implement them? Very short advice. Lonavala,
Sir,
that area, that area.
Sir, the major problem that Lonavala.
There's a problem.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Vipul, you are audible. Just try.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, going and coming.
Can you rather switch off your microphones and try to use the computer audio?
Yes, ma'am. I'm using the computer audio now. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Now it's fine.
Okay. Sir, the major problem that Lonavala is currently facing is deforestation because of the growing construction activities in and around Lonavala. Lonavala has been a tourist spot, but nowadays it is being commercialized at a more larger scale. And as well as the hills are being torn down, the land, the mining is going on, which is due to which the topography of the area is getting environmentally degraded. So as a chief engineer, if I am appointed for the nearby region, I will firstly ensure that all the environmental norms which are in place are executed, and all the industries and the tourism industry that is developing over there is following the environmental norms.
There is a common concept, is not a recent one, is an old one, common effluent treatment plant. This is for industrial estate. This is also the pollution norms, also all state pollution board, central pollution board, they all insist on that. But some environmentalists, they strongly object to this concept. They say common effluent treatment plant is neither common nor they treat effluent correctly. So this, do you think this is the main, what you call the strategy for all treatment of all liquid waste in near industrial estates in all cities? Do you think this strategy, environmental strategy to contain, manage the liquid effluents is the correct one, or if not, then what should be according to you to be the strategy to our safeguard our water bodies, especially the rivers, lakes, when these effluents are actually dumped?
Sir, effluent treatment, common effluent treatment plants are very much required to prevent the environmental degradation, because the self purification capacity of the water bodies is not so much so as to cater the purification of industrial wastewaters as well as the domestic wastewaters. So, sir, we should, it is very much beneficial, and environmentalists we should talk to them and make them understand about the
No,
importance of.
what they are saying, I'll interview. What they are saying is that it's a concept is good, but it is practically not possible because many people will not, among an industrial estate, some will pay, some will not pay. Electricity cost is too high, so it's not affordable. The small industries can't afford, the big industries can afford, but they want to, they will not take initiative unless everybody is paying equally or something like that, and depending on the capacity of effluent generation. But it isn't anything common in this country. There is a lot of problems. They said because even a chowkidar in your neighborhood chowkidar, if you want to go to house to collect chanda for the chowkidar, they'll say, "No, will not pay. He is not looking after our house," something like that. It is a mentality of the. So that is what they say. It is a kind of a thing which is good in theory, but not really practical on field. I mean, it's not really going good. So they say there should be alternative pollution control method. That is what they say. Do you have anything in mind to make it more effective? Yes, effluent must be treated and before it emptied to the water body. But what could be another way or some other way, or if
Sir,
not, there is how to make it better.
Sir, to ensure, sir, coming to the same effluent treatment plant, we can make it more financially viable for the small industries. Like we can make a mechanism in which the bigger industries pay up more and the smaller industries are made to pay lesser as per the level of pollution that they are making. They are made to pay based on that amount. And sir, alternatively, we can install wherever the bigger industries are there, we can ask them to make a level of effluent treatment at their level itself, and then only join with the common effluent treatment system, so that the load on the size of capacity of the common effluent treatment system can be reduced, and hence the cost can also be reduced.
There any concept of recycle, reuse, commercially make the recycling, reuse more profitable for even effluent treatment plant itself become a commercial proposition? Is it something, because you are working L&T and in this area only, effluent treatment, is it possible to kind of make it commercially viable? Because it's a waste thing, but even waste can generate resources.
Recently there has been a program launched in which we can create electricity from the sewage. So I think in that ways we can make it financially viable, as well as for when the decomposition, anaerobic decomposition of organic matter takes place, methane gas is evolved in a large quantity. So by recovering that methane gas, we can use it as a alternative fuel also, and it will increase the financial viability of the project.
The last question is earthquake engineering. You are a civil engineer.
Yes,
now, is it earthquake engineering? Suppose you are going to plan for a large utility project like a water supply or a sanitation, huge, or a road and bridge in a zone 5 area. Zone 5. What is a zone 5 area?
Sir, zone 5 is the most extremely vulnerable area to the earthquake. And
which are the areas in India? Which are those areas?
Sir, the Himalayan region fall under the zone 5 category.
Himalayan, right from Karakoram down to the northeast, the entire range is zone. Now, suppose you are going to plan, you are in charge of that area, the entire special zone. And you are now, what are the main things you will have to kind of insist on? I mean, you cannot proceed in a zone 5 region without taking these factors into consideration. 1, 2, 3.
Sir, firstly, we'll have to consider the geological conditions of the area. If there are any identified major fault zones present in the area, then we need to identify them before going forward with the hydropower projects. Sir, other than this,
only hydro. I'm talking about not hydro. I'm talking about the roads and bridges, water supply, like that. Man-made hydro. You have to go down to the earth and all. I'm saying overground, not underground. Overground.
Sir, overground also, as we mentioned that in the hilly areas, due to the earthquake, there can be landslides which may happen. So we need to identify those areas where such potential danger is present. And if there is a roadwork project going on, then we need to make the retaining walls or somehow rock filling so that such potentially dangerous zones are covered. So other than this, we need to go for materials which are flexible in nature. If we go for rigid pavements, then if there is an earthquake, then it will get damaged very soon. So if we are going with the flexible materials, then they will be able to take some of the deformations due to the earthquake also.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Will you please take over?
Sure. Hi, Vipul. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So I would like to know, what is the role of aerodynamics in civil engineering, particularly while you are developing or constructing a absolutely new colony. So what would you like to take care?
Ma'am, first of all, in aerodynamics, we need to see that the flow of the air is not causing any blunt force on the object. So when we are designing a colony, then we have to ensure that the prevailing wind direction, the buildings are aligned in such a manner that the minimum width is towards the prevailing wind direction, as well as since it is having a prevailing wind direction, so we can plan the bedrooms in that side, because the bedrooms are generally aligned towards southwest side, so that there is continuous flow of air throughout the year. And other than this, we can also if we want to make a self-sustained colony, then we can also install wind power projects in that, for small wind power projects, to just cater the street lamps. In such manner, we can take use of that situation.
Very good. So if I put you in my place and I am in your place, yes, right? We swap the roles. So I am the interviewee and you are the interviewer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you see me cheating. What would you do?
No, it will not be so good, and I will make aware that this is not right.
Okay. How would you make me aware that something wrong I'm doing, or something which is not desirable I'm doing? What words would you use?
First of all, I will try to tell that where the interviewee is wrong, and then I will try to make him explain that how can this be potentially wrong in the long run.
So I am because I am the interviewer, I say, how do you know that in the online mode I'm cheating?
Ma'am, when the person is looking at at other places other than the screen, that means that he is looking at some other place, other source where he might be getting some answers. And secondly, if the video is not that clear, then definitely it goes in that direction, that why is the video not clear? He should have made it. So he might be onto some other things which is not good.
Okay. Have you heard anything very specific about the design part and the eye value part of minars of Taj Mahal? It is considered to be one of the miracles or seven wonders or whatever. What makes it to be seven wonders? One of the part of the seven wonders.
Ma'am,
particularly the minarets. I am asking about the minarets, which are the four corners.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not so aware in detail about Taj Mahal.
Okay. So which building do you know, which is a heritage building, which you know more better?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Right now, I'm not able to recall.
Okay. But usually, being a civil engineer, all the types of major constructions, everything that is, around, and what kind of a science has gone behind it, one has to know, right? So I'm showing you a particular item. Now, let me know immediately the 5 uses of this particular item. Please look carefully at the object.
It's a nail cutter.
It's a nail cutter. So immediately tell me what are the various uses of this?
Ma'am, nail cutter can be used for cutting the nails, for giving the shape of the nails to ensure that there are no edges. It can also be used as a bottle opener. The hooked part of it can be used as a bottle opener. As well as
more beyond nail cutter, beyond nail cutter. It shows a mechanism in which we are applying a force at a far end, and the concept of torque is being applied over here. If we hold the nail cutter at the very near the hinge, then the force that is to be applied is very high, and when it is going at the longer end, at the backer side, then the force applied is less. So this concept is used in the doors also. So when we are making doors, we are ensuring that the handles are at the far end, not at the near end of the. I think I'll hand it over to Dr. J. Bhattacharjee, who will take it forward now.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Mr. Vipul, are you listening me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very smartly dressed. Good. Looking very good. Some civil engineering question. What is ductility and why it is so important?
So ductility pertains to beyond elastic deformation. There can be a long plastic deformation as well. So like in the case of mild steel, we call it as a ductile material because before fracture point, it extends to up to 30% of strain. It gives 30% of strain. So the importance of ductile structure in civil engineering is that we want the structure not to fail immediately. It should show sufficient warning before it fails. Like when we go for RCC, that is reinforced cement concrete. Concrete is a brittle material.
Why concrete cover to reinforcement is required?
Sir, concrete cover provides two functions. Firstly, it prevents the rusting of the steel. As well as if proper cover is not maintained, then the cracks might be developed. For that purposes, the cover should be kept at the proper width.
Any other? Is it not required for gripping the concrete over reinforcement? Grip.
I'm sorry, sir. The voice is breaking.
Or getting the grip.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
yes, sir. To ensure the bonding.
And one more thing is there. Actually, it protects from fire also. Okay, fine. Why over reinforced design is not preferred?
Sir, because it is not ductile in nature. The concrete the structure might fail suddenly.
Okay. One more thing is there. This is one. Its design is uneconomical also.
Yes, sir.
Not economical design. Because available steel is not used properly. So that is there. Then you tell me, what is the primary function of stirrups?
Sir, the primary function of stirrup is to resist the shear force, as well as to bind the longitudinal reinforcement together to work as a combined action.
Okay. Then to tying the longitudinal bar in position, that is also a requirement of that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Then this inclined cracks and improve the interlocking. Okay, last question.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard the word rehabilitation and retrofitting?
Yes, sir. Sir, retrofitting basically pertains to strengthening the old structure. So we are doing it by underpinning or by providing RCC reinforced concrete jacketing. So rehabilitation is basically
normally when it is required. Normally.
Sir, rehabilitation is required when.
No, I'm not talking about retrofitting only.
Okay.
Retrofitting where it is required, normally.
Sir, for old dilapidated
This
structures,
situation, old structure.
yes, sir,
Okay.
old structures. When we want to increase the structural strength, we need to go for
Why you want to
retrofit.
increase? Why you want to increase the strength?
Sir, if the structure is of historical importance and we want it to.
No. You are little digressing. Actually, in two situations we do it normally. If structure is constructed, old structure, as per old codal provision, as per new code, it may fail. So we want to strengthen it. Secondly, I want to build 2-story building to 3-story. So I have to strengthen it. That is the major two things. And what is rehabilitation of structure?
Sir, when we want to, we don't want to go for structural improvement of the structure, only for like painting, plastering, such non-structural works.
That painting, plastering is coming under repair.
And I'm sorry, sir, I'm not able to
That is
recall it.
repair. Rehabilitation means somehow it has gone bad, maybe earthquake, maybe something else. You want to restore its original strength. That is rehabilitation. Okay, good. You have confidently answered most of the question. Over to Mr. Jaspal.
Hello, Vipul.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Vipul, you were talking about environment earlier. Bhattacharya Sarji was asking you about environmental challenges which we observe in your particular region of Lonavala. Carrying forward that only, can you tell something about environmental impact assessment? How it plays a role in controlling the environmental challenges?
Sir, in environmental project assessment, the projects are divided into two categories, category A and category B. Category B projects are very low scale projects and they don't generally require environmental impact assessment. In category A projects, all the projects have to go environmental impact assessment. So in this environmental impact assessment, we are going through the life cycle of the project, right from its construction, commissioning and dismantling of the project. So we are trying to assess what all the damaging factors which the environment may occur, the environment may face due to the existence of the project, as well as the social environment is also taken into consideration in environmental assessment, where the local NGO bodies are also given an opportunity to raise their concerns so that the appropriate action can be taken at the initial stages itself.
Okay. Let us suppose you were talking about effluent plant also. What are the different aspects you would keep in view while designing a sewer?
Sir, for sewer design, first of all, we have to ensure that we are going from a higher level to a lower level because we want it to happen through gravity flow. So secondly, generally, socially, there is always a resistance for building sewage pumping stations nearby the colony. So we will ensure that the areas where such sewage pumping stations may come are located well away from the colonies so that the social resistance is less. Other than this, sir, we will have to also consider traffic conditions. If the traffic is very high, then we can go for trenchless technologies and for higher depth more than 4.5 meters. Sir, these are the main aspects we have to consider, as well as we also need to consider the type of sewage that is going to come. If it is only domestic sewage, then the size will be smaller. But for industrial sewage, or if we want to go for combined sewerage system, then the size may be higher. So considering that, we have to design the sewer system.
Okay. Out of both the sewages, domestic or industrial, whose BOD is more?
Sir, the BOD of domestic sewage system is more.
Oh, domestic system is more.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I think I missed over there. I'm not aware of the answers.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me what is BOD?
Sir, BOD stands for biochemical oxygen demand. It is the amount of oxygen required by water it is the amount of oxygen required by the bacteria to completely decompose the organic matter present in the sewage.
So we have to decompose it by bacteria only. Can't we decompose it chemically?
Sir,
Because you have said biochemical oxygen demand.
yes, sir. So we can decompose it chemically also, but the chemical reactions are only taking place by the bacteria. So we are considering in BOD, we are considering only the organic matter which can be decomposed by the bacteria. In chemical oxygen demand, we are considering all the.
Okay. Can you tell me different types of stormwater regulators?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall right now.
Okay. Okay. Which type of material is being used for construction of the sewer?
Sir, generally RCC pipes are used, but they are prone to hydrogen sulfide corrosion. So these days, DWC pipe, that is double wall corrugated pipes, they are PVC pipes which are being used in construction majorly all over the world.
Okay. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Now, before your interview, formal interview is over, we will place you in the waiting room for some time. We will have internal discussion or assessment, and then we'll bring you back for
Thank you, sir.
telling you about the assessment. Thank you. Yashji, please place Vipul Goyal in the waiting room.
Sure, sir. I'm keeping him in the waiting room. Okay, Vipul.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, welcome back. Vipul, your panel members are unanimous. You got a very present, not very presentable. You speak well, and you are most of the topics, even technical topics, also you know reasonably good. But you have to improve. Definitely, scope for improvement. You must have found out some of the topics which are normally. You should have known a little bit. Like heritage engineering is something you cannot avoid. I mean, perhaps you get into CPWD, you will be put in charge of some heritage building in Delhi, and each charge of civil will get into CPWD and all that. So there are all the heritage buildings. So heritage engineering is something you must have. I mean, anybody will ask. As a civil engineer, it is a very common expected.
Yes.
The rest of the thing you have fielded well, presentable, this thing, except that is something you were, when I was asking you about Lonavala, you are looking at something, no? Is it you are trying to get some knowledge from some other screen or some other your laptop? No,
not at all, not at all, sir. Not at all.
Okay, so, but so you are done well, I mean, and there is no reason you should not get it this time. But you just keep on updating your knowledge. Little bit of general knowledge questions are expected because it's a 60-40, 65-35 like that, 30-35 questions. And you have already appeared in the prelims. So you have some CAC prelims. I have read from your DAP. So you already have some general knowledge. Maharashtra will be, yeah, something on Maharashtra, like I said, Lonavala, Kandati region, environmentally fragile region. So this thing. Then Northeast is going to Northeast. What will be the developmental challenges? Maybe the earthquake engineering, and all these things are expected. And tourism in Maharashtra and all that. Maybe you are from Aligarh. Some DAF says you are also partly from, I suppose, UP Pradesh.
Yes,
Your
sir.
mother is
Anyway.
from. So that's
Yes,
why you a little bit of Uttar Pradesh. So all these things you must have, because suddenly somebody can ask other than the technical. Technical, obviously, bulk will be technical.
Yes, sir.
Civil engineering just may not be only civil, maybe only something else also, or other branches of engineering they can. But civil will be definitely again. And Pune obviously you must know. Pune, the
Yes.
very heritage of the Pune is center of master culture. So we must all these things. And these are, but your civil is very, you have to go very deep into process. I was asking about all these rehabilitation, restoration, all the various types of, because there will be teachers, very eminent civil engineers will be there in the board.
Yes, sir.
they know their subjects backwards forward and with long years of experience. So they must know the thoroughly. I mean, you've not gone till now, go back to your textbooks, civil engineering, and then you have done post-graduation also. So they say you have done post-graduation in such a reputed organization.
Yes, sir.
Post-graduation. So they will be expect a much higher standard from you,
Yes,
your
sir.
professional subject.
Yes,
So
sir.
that you want to ask us anything?
Sir, actually, that earthquake regarding what special, what can be the right answer for that?
Professor Saab had asked you on rehabilitation restoration that way. That question you want to know?
No, sir. For Northeast development.
Northeast. No. Northeast. See, what they will. He will say as a civil engineer, you must know the soil. First is soil, and then perhaps you must do some seismic study also. See, for example, you have a huge project there in a Northeast zone 5. They must do a seismic survey of that area. Whether it can stand that, you can support that huge structure, and that we take constantly, and the Himalaya is growing. So he is unstable structure. Apart from the zone 5, unstable structure, Himalaya region.
Yes, sir.
Before starting so you will say it's perhaps better to have small projects rather than a huge project. So first of all, you will say again, instead of a soil survey, seismic study survey, then obviously as Dr. Sava said, the EIA study, environmental impact assessment, as you very correctly said, social impact, small villages on rooftops, they may be affected, and the constant threat of landslides there. So you have to be very cautious. There are so many limiting factors one must take into account. If government decides that obviously I'll have to go bring all the precautionary, may take all the measures. And the impact, the cost benefit analysis, maybe cost may be so high compared to the benefit, IRR, internal rate of returns, you have to calculate every step, every phase, and maybe phase wise, like that. I mean, but development is paramount, but we cannot at the cost of environmental degradation. That is also tree cutting will be a very big issue. So you say all these things have to be, and it cannot be just a knee-jerk, and because developmental challenges, development demands are extremely high there. There's no industry, nothing. But we must balance it, temper it with the environmental degradation. Because this is the only sink we have, environmental. There's a sink and concept now. This is the only sink. The rivers are starting from there. So you must have those considerations. And these are not utopian like the environmental studies. These are actually developments. They will affect downstream. All the rivers will be polluted. The rivers will dry up with the climate change, scenario of climate change. You must be very, very so like that, very systematically. But whatever you say, stay point wise. A, B, think through it first of all. Frame your answer. 1, 2. Most important first point, second point. And let's stop.
Yes.
Don't start. Don't keep on giving a lecture on. They don't want a lecture. They want your views. And
Yes.
as they are pressed for time, they don't have time for one candidate. So that way.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much. I suppose the people all the best. You will do very well. There's
Thank you,
no
sir.
doubt in your mind, the parents.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So you can now disengage yourself. You can leave now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.